Hello traders, welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm just going to do a quick trading recap of my trades from today. I took 5 trades in total, 2 trades in Tesla, both losers, and another 3 trades in Netflix, AMD, and Apple, all 3 winners. So let's jump right into it. So today we came in and the indices were all up a little bit. S&P was up, Qs, Russell, Dow Jones. However, if we look on the chart, we are still below the 21 EMA, the 50 SMA. We are bouncing off this low of 420 on SPY. We've been in this range between 427 and about 440 for several days. As you can see on the hourly, finally we broke out. So overall, I was biased to the long side, but still was mindful of a potential resistance level here at 450, 451 on S&P. If we look at Nasdaq, it's a similar situation on the hourly. We've been bound to this range for over a week, finally broke out yesterday, and now we are at an interesting spot. We are below 200 SMA. So I was curious to see how Nasdaq is going to behave around this level. Potentially there might be some resistance and selling there. Also, as you can see, there is this pivot low around 370. Not the strongest level. The much stronger level is 380 for Nasdaq, but still in combination with the 200 SMA. It was interesting to see if Nasdaq can potentially test and break, or will it get rejected around those levels. So the first trade I took was about 4 minutes after the open. I was watching Tesla for this potential red to green move. As you can see, it's been holding the 9 EMA, plus we sold off to 920, this level that has been important yesterday. So I was watching this daily high. I went long anticipating the break of daily high and wanted to scalp this breakout move. However, it actually ended up rejecting this level, so I got out here around 9:30. You cannot see the red here, but that's the point where I got out. My next trade was on Netflix. I was watching this bear flag on a 1 minute. Also, as you can see on the 15-minute, we've actually came down and tested previous day's high. So it's always usually a level where a lot of shorts are going to be piling in, trying to short Netflix. As you can see, it actually had a massive gap down recently on disappointing user growth numbers. So it will be interesting to see whether Netflix will be able to fill this gap soon. But as I was watching this bear flag form, I knew that a lot of short sellers are probably piling in or are getting ready to go short. And I often see in those volatile names where a stock would break a bear flag or break the daily low. In this case, it actually did both. And then the stock quickly pulls back up, creating this hammer wick. And I just know that all the shorts who've been shorting this bear flag or this low of day breakout are now feeling nervous. So I like those setups. Some of you would call them bear traps. I call them breakdown reversals. So I went long here. It did end up pulling back at first, and that's why I take those reversal trades with a small size, because the stock is volatile. It needs some room. Otherwise, you would just be shaken out of every trade that you take. Then, for some reason, I decided to jump back into Tesla. also try this reversal setup. And it did go my way in first. Perhaps if I took a little bit more size, I could have made some money on this move towards a VWAP and just for a quick scalp. But I think it was an impulsive trade. Now, upon watching this recording, I don't see an actual bear trap, an actual playable setup. I think I might have been just revenge trading because of my previous loss in Tesla. And in general, Tesla has been the best stock um, for me last year. But this January, for some reason, my reading of Tesla is off. Um, I don't know why. I need a little bit more time to figure it out, but just wanted to point it out that if something has worked for you for a while, it might stop working at some point, and you need to be able to adapt to it. So I pretty quickly took an L on Tesla, got out, and I knew that after two losers on one stock, two consecutive losses, it's better to just give up. Come back, record your trades, analyze what went wrong, regroup, and come back another day. There is no reason to keep fighting if the market tells you that your reading is off. And here Netflix actually ended up pushing towards VWAP. And I got out of a third of my position here around VWAP. Unfortunately, you did not see the execution as I was trading Tesla at this point, but I wanted to hold for a bit longer because at this point both S&P and Nasdaq looked like they could bounce. So I wanted to hold Netflix for a bit, just give it a little bit more chance to go a little higher, maybe break through the VWAP and give another move. My next trade was on AMD, and I was watching it because it had a big move down in the first 15 minutes on actually quite a large volume compared to yesterday. Plus, we tested this level of about 113 that seems to have been a resistance yesterday. So usually when both S&P and Nasdaq seem to be bouncing, I like taking this reversal setup, rising the stock higher towards VWAP. So I already knew that I want to take this trade. I just was looking for an entry at this point, and I didn't want to wait for it to bounce. I decided to actually go in with 5 shares here. And as soon as I saw the tape speeding up with some big orders, I decided to add another 5. It actually broke the low and tested 113. But that's why I take a small size, because I'm not able to call the bottom exactly. I want to give it some wiggle room. And then it actually made a surprising move. I don't often see this on AMD, but this 113 level got bought up like crazy, and I'm not speeding up this part. This is actually how it happened live. Just look at this candle. Whoop, and it's already at 113.75. So I knew that there are a bunch of people trapped short there. So this has decent potential to, go towards the VWAP. Below 100, right below 114, I decided to get out of about a third of my position. My offer got filled, and the price kept pulling higher. I put another offer for another third of my position just below 114.50, around this level. And I just like scaling out of my trades, and I usually put them right below whole numbers or half numbers. Those levels usually seem to be resistance levels on intraday time frame. And I took this, while I was trading AMD, I was still in Netflix, so was letting that trade work itself out. As you can see, AMD had a really nice push of those lows. I managed to call them pretty well. So I wanted to see if it tests VWAP at this point because the tape has sped up. The volume seems to be higher. Usually, I would see the volume, drop off quite a bit. Like for example, on Nasdaq here, but on AMD the volume was pretty high, and both Netflix and AMD managed to break VWAP. I put my offers on Netflix above this swing low. So I put some at 429.92, just below 430. And I had my stop loss at 424.81, a little below the day's low. So I got filled on Netflix and on AMD. And below 115, I got out of the rest of my position AMD. So it ended up being a really, really good trade. As you can see, I almost nailed the bottom here and scaled out of this move towards VWAP. So very nice trade, very happy with it. So at this point, I was still holding just one share of Netflix. And then I saw Apple. Apple was also breaking the day's low. And again, as you can see, very similar situation to AMD, except here the bear flag was even more pronounced. It was much longer. Plus, there were probably people who piled in here, more people who piled in here, and overall, this structure has been forming for more than 10 minutes. On the time frame of scalping, this is a lot. Plus, as you can see on the 15 minutes, we actually dropped quite a bit off the open, and we came in and to test the bottom of this range from yesterday, where the price spent most of the day. So I knew that there is a potential that we can have some resistance around this level. So I was watching Apple for an entry. I was hoping that, again, there would be some sort of a bear trap where I would be able to enter. And as you can see, with this 1 minute candle, it broke the daily low and quickly started reclaiming this daily low. So I checked how wide should my stop be. I decided to go in with 20 shares on Apple, and it ended up pushing higher immediately. It did not even try going lower and testing a whole number like AMD did. So I got out of a fourth of my position here around 173. And at this point, Netflix broke out higher, and I actually accidentally sold 5 shares instead of 1. So I ended up actually going short with 4 shares, but I immediately threw a market order to get me out, and I actually ended up getting out lower. So I made a little bit on that short as well, but this happens, and fat finger mistakes happen. Order execution errors happen, like you've just seen me do. And what I learned from my trading overall from almost 2 years at this point is that I just know when I enter accidentally, it's better to just get out right away. No point in examining this, trying to rationalize maybe this trade is okay or not. Just get out. You didn't plan for this, so now that you're in a trade and you try to assess whether it can be a winning trade or not, you're already biased. So it's better to get out. And going back to Apple, it actually ended up testing VWAP, and that's when I got out of all of my position in thirds. And it ended up being a good move because Apple ended up reversing pretty much around VWAP and then trading lower for the rest of the morning. So overall, I think I traded fairly well. I respected my stops. The only problem with my trading today is that second trade on Tesla. I think it was more of a revenge trade than an actual setup because after watching this recording, I actually cannot say that it was a clear bear trap or reversal setup. So, in future days and weeks, my goal is to reevaluate my trading on Tesla. I love the stock a lot and I'm really attached to it. Some setups worked really well for me, specifically on Tesla last year. But if they worked last year, doesn't mean that they're going to work this year. So yeah, my goal is to downsize. I'm already trading the smallest size that I've ever traded, and to just continue getting screen time, recording and cataloging my trades, my setups on TraderView. So if this and in the future, I will be uploading more recaps like this, where I show you my actual trades, real life executions. Um, and also explain the rationale behind my trading, the logic of the setups, and I will also share with you my TraderView stats of different setups that I'm trading. What is the win rate? What is the average winner, average loser? Best names for me, best times of the day, and so on and so forth. So if this sounds interesting to you, please subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Like this video and see you in the next one. Bye.